Okay, so I wanted to shoot this quick video because I have a lot of clients that get a loan estimate and they are confused by that loan estimate because the numbers in that loan estimate oftentimes look different or worse than the numbers that we showed you initially when we started this process. Okay, now the reason the numbers look different is a formal government loan estimate, which is actually what this form looks like on the screen here. That is required by federal law. The format of how that form is sent out to you, we have no control over. The problem with this format is, as you start to look at this, there's a bunch of information on this form, and it's a 3-page form. And almost always, the amount of cash that you have to have at the time of closing looks to be higher than what we told you initially, and or the numbers look worse than what we told you initially. And that has to do with the fact that those numbers, if you will, are shown in a very specific format that the government requires. Now, I can't deviate from that format, even though the numbers that the government shows do not necessarily reflect what you're going to see at the time of closing. Now, that is why we provide you with this set of figures. So you would have received a set of figures similar to this one that does kind of recap all of the details of what you're going to see at the time of closing. So to kind of dial this in a little bit bigger here, if you will, you'll see up here, and maybe this is a little bit easier to follow, typically you see up here the terms of the transaction as far as a purchase price or what you think the house is worth, what the new loan is going to be, what the new loan terms are, when we anticipate you closing, when your first payment's due, what we estimate the new monthly payment is going to be. Down here, you would see what we estimate as far as closing cost, any interest that's due in the loan from the day you close, escrows, and then all of that stuff totals kind of the grand total of down payment or payoffs and stuff like that, minus the new mortgage with the amount of cash that you have to have at closing. Really simple, easy to follow format, right? You can compare that to what our friends in the government show, which is this 3-page format that doesn't show you everything, doesn't take everything into account. Oftentimes there are credits that are coming back to you that are not reflected in this set of figures. And so almost always clients feel like, hey, wait a minute, this is different than what you told me. The numbers are higher. It's different than what I signed up for. So if you have the same types of feelings, please don't be alarmed. We didn't pull the rug out from underneath you. We didn't change the rules or anything like that. It's just that loan estimate comes in a format that is very difficult to follow, and it does not take everything into account. So it is really important that you bank on the numbers that we're showing you on this form as being accurate. So if these numbers change or there's a need for those numbers to change, we'll send you an updated form. But otherwise, you can pretty much bank on these numbers being pretty darn on the money, if you will. The only thing that would change these numbers is if your payoff was different or if your purchase price changed or you chose to change something on your loan. In that case, we'll send you an updated set of figures to reflect that. But these numbers are going to generally be pretty accurate to what you should expect at the time of closing. Very different than what you would see when you follow this set of figures here. And I wish I could change that, but I can't. So hopefully that makes some sense for you. If you have questions or concerns, always feel free to reach out to our team. We're here to help you. But I wanted to shoot a quick video because I get enough questions from clients that feel like, hey, wait a minute, this is different than what we talked about. It really isn't. It just doesn't take everything into account. And fortunately, there's nothing I can do to change that. So hope you're doing well. And if you have questions, reach out to us. Thanks.